The old man was driven out of the house by his children. He had no choice but to hide in the mountains and avoid the wind. He thought he was just looking for a temporary shelter, but he accidentally found an abandoned astronomical observatory that had been abandoned for many years. He pushed open the rusty iron door. The water in the house was full of debris. It was full of traces of age, but the spacious and transparent space is slightly corrected. It can become a warm little home to block the wind and rain. So a harmonious and healing transformation begins. The old man took action and cleaned the outside of the observatory. Then he removed all the abandoned items and broken equipment in the house. Then he took out a high-pressure, powerful spray gun and sprayed it hard against the walls of the rusty layers. The stubborn rust quickly disintegrated under the high-pressure water. The original iron color of the walls was revealed a little bit. The whole observatory was much cleaner in an instant. After cleaning, the old man brushed the anti-rust oil paint on the walls to isolate the air and moisture to prevent the walls from corrosion and rust again. The floor was treated in the same way. He poured in the self-flatting paint and spread it evenly with a scraper to make the uneven ground smooth. Then he reinstalled the broken window glass, and the basic transformation was completed. Entering the interior decoration section, the professional planning of the old man was amazing. He precisely cut and trimmed the wooden board. He drilled a 30 to 40 centimeter hole on the wall and built a neat wall cage. Then he sprayed the super resistant bubble into the gap. The cold air and heat dissipation of the walls achieved the best heat insulation effect. Then the old man used his skill to process all the wires and water pipes in the dark line. The switch was positioned accurately. The toilet pipeline layout was reasonable. He prepared for the subsequent installation. Then he brushed the multi-layer anti-water paint. The two outer walls were also fixed with dragon bone supports to facilitate the overall installation of the wooden board decoration. In order to make the residence more durable, the old man climbed up the high ball-shaped roof and covered it with a layer of stainless steel. Not only did it improve the brightness, but also achieved a super resistant effect. For the difficult use of power in the mountains, he installed two high-efficiency solar panels on the roof, connected the power storage equipment in the house with a large capacity power storage box to create a completely independent power supply system. Even if it rains continuously, it can also achieve 24 hours of continuous power supply to completely solve the power supply problem. The old man still did not make the final part of the internal softening installation. The floor of the living room was first covered with cement to smooth the surface so that it became shiny and bright. After the cement was smoothed in the bathroom, the porcelain bricks, water pipes, and flowers were placed in place. The kitchen cabinet and washing basin were also personally processed and installed. Every place was exquisite and practical. At the moment when the light came on, the whole space was transparent and bright, and the texture was comparable to a 5-star hotel. Finally, the old man laid a soft mattress, a fluffy bed, a simple sofa, and a bookshelf, and a warm and comfortable home was completely formed. Sitting under the warm light, the old man soaked a cup of hot coffee, and the thick fragrance filled the whole house. The tiredness of daily transformation abandoned by the children. At this moment, everything was gone. No one had ever thought that an old man who had been abandoned by his loved ones could transform a deserted observatory into a warm and comfortable home with a pair of unsatisfied hands and an unyielding will.